people have given me shit over doing this. You're supposed to be wearing gloves. You're supposed to not be smoking around. It's supposed to be sterile. Alright. First off, gloves are only worn by tattoo artists to protect themselves. Not to protect you. Not to protect the client. Their blood is what we're trying to stay away from. It's the whole purpose of gloves. I'm getting ready to put acid on these. Do you think smoke is more hazardous than acid? Would you rather some smoke be blown in your face or sulfuric acid? Yeah. It just kind of irritates me. Now, once these were sterilized, yeah, you don't want to be smoking and blowing smoke on them. But there's a bunch more steps. We've got to clean these. We've got to sterilize them. We've got before we clean them, we've got to neutralize the acid. Otherwise, it will continue eating it until there's nothing there. Alright, so me sitting here smoking is not going to hurt a thing. The smoking, I mean, I've been smoking for so many years. If I don't have nicotine, I shake. You don't want me shaking when I'm trying to put the shit in here, because that's how needles are going to be bent. You don't want to be doing this when you're pissed off. You're going to fuck something up. You want to be calm and relaxed when you're doing this. I know it sounds stupid, but when you're pissed off, you're going to get frustrated. You know, I'm making it look pretty easy. I've been doing this for fuck over a decade. Alright? Once a week, twice a week, for 11 or 12 years. I'm going to make it look easy.
The Hoover White House had employed exactly one person to handle that kind of
I bet you I ruined 2,000 or 3,000 needles trying to learn how to do this. Easy. Easy. If you're gonna learn how to make needles, be prepared for that. You're gonna fuck some up. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. I wish my camera worked a little better so I could show you guys exactly how I put these in. Until you get used to it, try getting the needles on a slant. That way you can put the first ones in and then line the next ones up. That way you're not going to... If you're scratching them across the top, you're fucking them up. Alright, soldering iron. You're going to want to go get you a 40-watt iron. Now, I just opened that one up. From Radio Shack. I think I paid $7 or $8 for it. I also buy tips by the handful. I will buy every tip they have when I go in and get a soldering iron. The solder flux we put on here, like I said, is corrosive. It eats the tips. Where's that soldering iron? Here's a brand new tip. Here's the one that I just replaced. Now, the soldering iron is still good, but I mean, you can see this is about 3-4 weeks of use. You can see how much I can still use this. Make it harder, but I can still use it. So now, when you're out buying your they come with these stands, which are fine. I actually have a bunch of these laying around. Here's an old one. Here's another one. These are cool to have, so you don't have to constantly be putting it on there. You can just set it down if you're doing something quick. But get you one of these stands with a sponge in it. That sponge, when you're done using it, it kind of washes it off. It will help save your tip. Now, a solder flux. God, it's dusty. Stay Clean Soldering and Tinning Flux. This is the best brand I've found. There's different kinds of flux out there. We're using a silver bearing solder, which means it's actually got silver in it. Other fluxes just don't seem to work. The reason I said a 40 watt is because you're using a pretty thick solder. I mean, you can see how thick that is. For people who do like circuit boards and shit, they're probably tripping out because of how thick that is. I've bought thin stuff before, but my God, you spend more time loading solder on the thing and having to unspin it so you can get the thing longer, so you can get more. Go ahead and any tattoo supply house is going to have this. You buy it by the pound. Most of them are going to have this thick stuff. It's when you go to like Radio Shack that you're going to find the thin stuff, even if they do have silver bearing. Just buy it from the tattoo supply shop so you get the right shit. Stay Clean. A bottle of this big ass bottle is probably 30 or 40 bucks. In 12 years, I think I went through 3 or 4 bottles. It lasts forever. This bottle, I've had it for about 2 years, and I just broke into it about 6 months ago, and there's probably still about that much in it. What I do is I put it in one of my tattoo bottles, my ink bottles, and you're going to want to go get you a glass eyedropper. Plastic ones, the shit is so corrosive, it's going to eat it. Go find the glass ones. They're hard to find, but you can still find them. They're very hard to find. Now, the bad thing about glass is you break tips. But now, when you get a fresh soldering iron, you're going to have to put some solder flux on it. Otherwise, the solder will not stick to it. The flux makes it flow. Anywhere there's solder flux, it will flow into that area. Now, there's a couple different ideas on this. I know guys that just put a little bit of flux at the very top, and they'll only solder a little bit at the top. I like to go farther down. I like that stiffness to it. That, and if you only do the very top, if you have a problem when you're putting it on the bar, that little bit of solder flux, once it gets hot, they're going to go, and then they're no longer round. So there's a few reasons why I do that, why I put them so far down. I don't like a real flexing needle. I want some flex in it, but I don't want like a paintbrush amount of flex. Now, even this, I'm making it look easy. It sounds stupid, but it takes a while to get your targeting down to be able to hit it and get it to go up in. I know it sounds funny. You don't want to beat on the top of this, but you want